You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit, HD2.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Happy Monday to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host.
Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
And I should also say, you know, we're in the community a lot, and somebody said, well, you say co-founder. Well, who's the other co-founder? That's two. Okay. So I have to tell you that as Officer Reginald Crawford. And it was founded in 1992. And this year we're 30 years old. And we will be celebrating the anniversary of Hood Research. And we're looking forward to it being the first Sunday in November. So check your calendar and, you know, right on that that's the day of our celebration. I guess you say a birthday party for Hood Research. We're working on all of the details now. But I'd like to say good morning to Rosa and Vera and to Katrina, David, to Carl, and to Al, and Sylvia, of course. And there are so many of you. I was down to Bert's this past Thursday, and a few of us attended the police commission meeting. And after that meeting, we went over to Bert's, and a gentleman came over to me, and I just want to say good morning to Herb. I met Herb this past Thursday out in the community. You know, Judge, oh goodness, he just retired. Where's the bright suits?
Craig Strong?
Yeah, yep, Judge Craig Strong was there. Council member Mary Waters was there. Selena Johnson of Hollywood Golf is there. And she has a good program coming up. She teaches young children. She starts age 4 on up. And she has provided scholarships for them, golf scholarships, where they have some of her students have had a college free and an opportunity through the efforts of Selena Johnson. So not only do I want to say happy Monday, but give a compliment and shout out for all the efforts. She's been doing this, I guess, probably just about 40 years, if not more.
And I'll just say that education, I'm glad she's doing that, because education is the key to our liberation. Mm-hmm. What we don't know, it really does hurt us and destroys our ability for a union. So I want to give her a shout out as well for her efforts, because that's very much needed in our community.
Absolutely. And who else you want to shout out to this morning?
Yes, I want to shout out to Jackie, who I want to thank you for the YouTube videos. She keeps me on. There's a lot of good stuff that we just don't know that we need to know. We'll give a shout out to Ruth Ann, Andrea, Brother Shane, Brother James Ford, Professor Griggs, And I want to ask you all, as you see at the bottom of the screen, the phone numbers here so that you might call in, and also have your pen and paper handy and contact everyone who's in your circle, friends, relatives, neighbors, co-workers, church members, whoever you associate with. Tell them to become a part of the program as well.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, and I got to remember to say happy Monday to Ricardo Moore. We saw him as we attended the police commission meeting this last Thursday. I'm looking forward to our guest who's going to be on a little while later this morning. I really am. You know, we say it's either feast or famine with us. And today, the guest that's going to be on with us is definitely bringing a feast on, and something that the members of the community can put to use. And I'm really looking forward to it.
And one of the things, just to give you guys a sneak preview, we were talking about learning and scholarships earlier in reading. And as we've heard, as we've grown up, reading is fundamental. Truly it is. And our guest will be helping to articulate the value of learning how to read, how to phonics and such, because unfortunately, and I remember when my son, and it seems like a lot of young black males are like this, they don't look at reading as something that is masculine because of all the other images that they are given. And unfortunately, masculinity is always, I would say, described as you got to be tough, you can't show weakness, no tears or anything, and reading is for wimps or nerds or something. But again, as I said, reading is liberating. So we must be able to read, and too many of us, and many of us know it, particularly in the older group, how people used to have to, back in the day, they would just put an X for their name because they didn't know how to write. And that was one of the things that the dominant culture made sure. They didn't want us to read or write.
Today, the schools are taking cursive as writing out of the curriculum. And I think it's the craziest thing I've heard. I do understand new technology and now we have computers and all of that. But everyone does not have a computer. And every document cannot be produced with a computer print of your name, such as your driver's license, your state ID, your passport. You've got to sign that. So to discontinue writing is just not wise, in my opinion.
And it's unfortunate. Like I've been filling out forms for let's say all of my life actually, and they'll have two lines. One will say print your name, and then the one below it will say your signature. And that's the way they can identify you. Even when you look at handwriting experts came into being more or less because when people were into forgery, you had to be able to have somebody to determine whether the signature they saw was legitimate or not. And to not have that is definitely something, because anybody can print. Right. And printing doesn't have any, like I have a special way that I make a letter of mine. I picked it up from a buddy of mine. He had a special way he made his, so I said, well, let me try mine. And people had a little trouble pronouncing, but then they just came to understand. So signatures are important. But we have to ask, what's the purpose behind taking that out? You know, we know that there have been nefarious things. And I want to throw something in real quick, Theo. In Texas, they want to get rid of the word slavery and use involuntary relocation.
Oh.
WTF. Y'all know what that means?
Voluntary relocation. You know, boy, I tell you, Donald Trump and his band of merry men really come up with some doozies, and that is one. I do remember that school textbooks are printed in the state of Texas. Why only Texas? Makes you wonder. But there had been a paragraph that talked about Africans coming here, and they were coming here to look for a job. I'm like, what?
What?
That's what I said. What? They came here looking for a job? Oh, boy. So I guess that didn't go over so big. So now it's involuntary
Relocation.
relocation. Okay.
It was definitely involuntary, but wasn't a relocation by choice. I think we were all happy at home, living our lives, doing what we were doing on the continent. And someone, because of capitalistic greed, decided, well, look, we need a labor force, and these are very strong and blah, 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 and educated, mind you. That's one thing I want us to also know, that the people that they brought over here were intelligent people.
And skilled.
Yeah, very skilled. So they knew agriculture, architecture. I mean, look at the White House. So they didn't bring some people over here that couldn't be trained. Matter of fact, I remember someone saying, and this was, I don't know if they were Greek or Roman, but they were saying about people who were in the other part of let's just say the western part of Europe, said, these people are so dumb we can't even train them. And they were speaking about other Caucasians themselves, saying, yeah, they so dumb we can't even train them.
Oh, wow.
So there's a little dissension within that as well. But of course, our dirty laundry gets aired, and their dirty laundry just stays in the hamper.
Hey, yeah. They had tried to enslave the Native Americans, and that didn't work so well. One, because the Native Americans knew the land, and the whites who were here didn't know their way around, so that didn't work so well.
We have a caller,
Yes.
and I do believe it's our guest.
Oh, okay.
So let me hit this button first, and then hit this button second, and then hit this button third.
All right.
Hello, welcome to Feedback. Would you give us your name and where you're calling from?
Look, I'm just calling in before your guest gets there.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing. As far as black people accepting this, not teaching writing in school, is one thing that we should not accept. We should have in our local schools, we teach writing. This is what we're going to do. We can't accept it. Just like when they said that you couldn't discipline your child, that ended up hurting us, because now they're killing our children because some of them don't understand what's going on. So I'm totally against this no writing thing.
I agree.
Before your guest gets there, I just want to say I am looking for vendors that want to deal with the Obama weekend. I'm not going to go into that. It's just I'm looking for vendors that want to deal with the Obama weekend. Come and just call me at 586-918-3061 for the whole weekend. Is for $100. But going back to what you were talking about originally, black people should not accept that all over the country. There should be a movement with us to say we are going to teach writing in our school, and that's what we're going to do. And some things you just got to do. So God bless everybody. If you want to be a vendor at the Great Obama Weekend, which you'll get a chance to meet Theo Broden and her staff, call me at 586-918-3061. And that's all I got to say. This is James Ford. God bless everybody.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, brother.
And James Ford, who organizes the President Barack Obama birthday celebration weekend annually, is organizing this year's for the first weekend in August. And the dates are August the 5th, August the 6th, and August the 7th. The 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. And it will be held in the Obama Academy, which is on LeMay. LeMay, I guess between Warren and Mac. And for those of you who live on the east side, I'm sure you're very familiar with that location. But again, it's the first weekend in August, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, we have a caller. Maybe that's our guest.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Is this me?
Yes.
Jackie Taylor.
Hello, Jackie.
All
Good
right.
morning.
What did she say?
I said good morning. to
Oh,
y'all.
well, happy Monday to you. And thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
I have been looking forward to this because I'm looking forward to your publication helping. You know, Hood Research has adopted a school, and we have tutors for the children. We pay people to tutor the children. And I'm looking forward to your publication helping in that effort.
Now, one of the things we always like to ask our guest, Jackie, is tell us, who is Jackie Taylor?
Well, Jackie Taylor is a nurse / real estate agent / business owner and published author.
All right. Yeah.
Nice resume.
She wears 4 hats.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And to those who don't know, I just want to refresh that some of you may know years ago, Jackie Taylor was also a host on the WHPR television station. So the name may be familiar to some of you. So I just wanted to bring that out. And we want to thank you again so much because, in my opinion, and I have my shirt on, I'm proud of it too, Superstar Reader, which came from Ms. Taylor. I want to thank you because Theo and I were discussing earlier about how critical it is for our children to be able to read. And my son had trouble when he was growing up, and I did everything I could to help him with phonics. So first I want to ask you to give us an overview of your book and what generated the idea to publish it.
Okay. My nephew had tested in school, and I might have to. My nephew tested in school, and they said he was special needs. Well, he is like a very bright young man, so I couldn't understand that. So when I looked at the test scores, he was bad in reading, math, and science. So I told him if he stayed in for the summer, that I would teach him reading, math, and science. And when he went back to school, he would be an honor roll student like he should be. And so that's what happened. And then a publisher called WHPR and asked for my number and said that if my program did what I said it did, he would help me publish it, which he did. I don't even remember his name. I'm sorry. But that's how it started.
Wonderful. Wow. Is this the second publication of your book here now?
Nope. That's it. Hell yes. I'm sorry. That is true. That's the second publication with Ex Libris. And they said they would do it and split the cost 50-50.
I see.
So I signed up with them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. And so as you can see, it looks much better than the original.
Oh, well, the point is the original worked. That's the important part, you know.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so they end up getting it in Walmart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if they go to Walmart.com and look up Superphonics for Superstar Readers by Jackie Taylor, they would be able to order the program.
Okay. Superphonics for Superstar Readers, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Author is Jackie Taylor. Superphonics for Superstar Readers. I like that. Go ahead.
Now, one of the things you said that struck me right from the beginning when you mentioned your nephew was that the school wanted to place him in a special needs category. And I bring that up because a lot of our children have had to deal with that, where the schools didn't have the time or didn't want to take the time or be patient enough to teach our children. So it's easier for them to just usher them into a special needs program. And the unfortunate thing about that is that what it does is, number one, it affects a child psychologically, which I have a problem with. Their self-esteem is kind of shot because they don't really see themselves on the same level as their peers, classmates, etc. And then, especially with young men, because my son had an issue as well, they end up just sort of a dropping out or abandoning the whole idea of education. So now I want to ask, how's your nephew doing? And have you spoke with school systems where you live? Because what we would like to do is be able to make sure that other children, because I have nieces and nephews, and I'm just concerned about our community in general. You know, I'm very serious and concerned about us being able to function in society. So how is he doing? And then have you approached school systems where you're at?
Yes, and the issue, okay, we'll talk about Daquan right quick. He became an honor roll student. He never went back to special needs. He became a member of the Honor Society.
Wow.
When he went to high school, he became they had like the science projects. And because he was a freshman, they said he could not attend because it was for juniors and seniors. But the other students said they would not do the contest without Daquan.
Wow.
All right now.
So he did the contest and he won first place.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, I like to hear that. Yes. Oh,
so that's what, and then after that, I just started taking on students that have been labeled. So ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, special needs, any of those. The parents brought them to me, and then I made them honor roll students.
Oh, wonderful.
You can't ask for a better testimony than
I
that.
know that's right. Oh, that is perfect. Go ahead.
Now, how did you approach Walmart? Did they approach you? How did that relationship begin?
No, that was the publishing company.
Okay.
They tried to get it into the school system, but the Board of Education took phonics out and replaced it with sight words. Well, the problem with sight words is they create sight disorders. So now you have your dyslexia that's caused by the absence of phonics. Because phonics is rhythm, is sound. And our kids are already born like that. They don't need that extra. So when I'm teaching phonics and they realize that the words rhyme, it's take off from there. It's like, Miss Jackie, your words rhyme? And I go, yes. And then it's like, that's it. Just take off with the program. Yes. And the other thing that I do is I incorporate math with the program. So once they complete a section, they have to count the words that they did and put them down on paper. So each section, you count the words, and then you add it to the words that you did prior.
Okay.
Now, the reason that is important is because in school, they give them 10 words a week.
Okay.
So for the whole week, they study 10 words, and on Friday they take a test.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you pass with 10, they give you an A. Well, to me, that's an F. Because in a half an hour, I can teach a child 50 words. And so once they write down that they did 28, that they did 15, and now they add that up together. Now you're looking at your child just did 43 words in a half an hour, which makes them feel much smarter, the 10 words that they did for the entire week.
So now,
so if you count, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, if they're given 10 words, they learn 10 and another 10. I'm just using that number. They have to physically write the word down. Is that what you're saying?
In school?
Yes. The way you
Yes. They give them on Monday. They give your child 10 words. They bring them home, and you're supposed to, I guess, help them study the 10 words for the entire week.
I got you. And that's not very many words for 5 days.
Exactly. That's 2 words a day, and that's only if they pass with all 10.
Oh, wow.
Now, I want to ask you, Sister Taylor, just to hold on. We're at the bottom of the hour, and we're about to take our station ID break. But we'll pick up the conversation on the other side. It's fascinating. I'm looking forward to more of it.
Oh, yeah. You're tuned into Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. And our guest today is Jackie Taylor. So stay tuned for more. We'll be back momentarily.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its 3rd year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. To see if you qualify, please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email textinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Brazen. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. We have returned with our special guest today, Jackie Taylor, who has written a very, very valuable book titled.
And the title of the book is Superphonics for Superstar Readers.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
And we all need superstar readers in our homes, in our communities. Sometimes the children would read to the parents when the parents didn't have it. And now, Sister Taylor, I want to ask you, because this is something I'm not familiar with, what are sight words as compared to phonics? Miss Taylor?
Did we lose her?
Hello, Miss Taylor?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
yes.
yes. Yeah, I think the
Okay.
okay, yeah. Could you tell us what sight words are? Because when we grew up, we only knew phonics, and as you say, they're trying to use sight words. But what is that actually?
Okay, now sight words is what they called whole language. And somehow you're supposed to be able to read the word without sounding it out.
Oh, wow.
Now, it sounds crazy.
Yeah, 'cause you got
But
to
this-
memorize. And how do you
There you
memorize
go.
if you've never been
Right.
taught? That's crazy.
Correct.
And you have words in books without pictures even. So that makes
Yes.
it even more difficult to know a word by sight.
And that's the issue with me is, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm. Wow, let's,
I have always taught phonics. Like you said, we grew up with phonics.
right.
So when they switched to sight words, it became hard for me to teach
Right.
in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
You got 10 words, and I didn't know how to teach it. And I think that even the teachers had to go take classes
Mm-hmm.
for them to learn how to teach sight words.
Mm-hmm.
And so, not saying they did that to hold our kids back.
Well,
That's just the result
mm-hmm.
of what they did. Whereas with phonics, it's sound.
Mm-hmm.
So our kids know rhyming words.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you put them through that cat, fat, hat, mad, rat, pat, that, they understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can take them through a lot more words when you're doing rhyming words
Mm-hmm.
than by sight.
Mm-hmm. And not only, excuse me,
ahead.
not only that, when you talk about sight words, you're depending on the children having excellent memories. And all
Correct.
people don't have the same memory. Now, I didn't know that for a long time. People would always compliment me on my memory. And I said, well, doesn't everybody remember?
Yeah, you told me that.
But everybody
No.
does not have the same memory level. So those who don't would have a more difficult time with sight words.
Correct. And that's where they come up with these titles. Dyslexic, ADHD, ADD. Well, on their side, that's money.
Good point.
You label a child, you get double the money. But you don't get any money for honor roll students.
Oh, boy. the ones who should get the money, you know.
You see? So they go after the money.
Right.
Whereas I go after honor roll students.
And what's interesting, too, is that when you don't produce children on a high educational level, like we're saying, honor roll students, then that means that those who become discouraged, because we were talking about this earlier as well, then crime and other things come to them because they don't feel like they fit in some way, but still you have to earn a living. You have to feel like, you're able to accomplish something. So now I don't know. I guess I'm going to call myself a pseudo conspiracy theorist because I have been in this system long enough to kind of see how things are going down. Now, Sister Taylor, I want to also mention that, like Theo and I were talking prior to you calling us about how they've taken cursive writing out of school, which we totally disagree with because signatures have always been used to validate checks. If you're signing a document, it could be Social Security, whatever it is. Signatures have always been the way that you made sure that a person, let's just say, was genuine in what they were doing as opposed to printing. Now, how did you come about, because now you've been a teacher for a while, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when you were saying how the school system had changed the way you all were teaching and that the teachers actually had to go back and learn this new program, first, was it introduced to the curriculum by the principal, the school system of that particular city? How did that come about?
That was the head Department of Education. That's like in Washington.
Oh, wow.
So once they put out that they would no longer be teaching phonics, that they would be teaching whole language, everything started downhill at that point.
Do you remember which person was president and which one was governor of the state of Michigan when it started?
I want to say they switched over like in the early 2000s.
Oh, that's later than that.
George Bush.
Oh, Lord.
And I can't say for sure.
Okay.
But did he come after Clinton?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yes.
Oh, and then the person that he put over the Department of Education took phonics out, put in whole language, took math out, put in new math. Still not sure exactly what that is.
Right.
Nothing is new.
And then, and then John Engler was governor of the state of Michigan, and in 1997 and 98, he began to take other subjects out of the curriculum. And the vocational type classes that they had, such as wood shop and metal, and those classes made it possible for the students who were not going to college, didn't want to go to college, couldn't afford to go, to college, an opportunity to have options. And they took that out.
And so you see, it's as if, not saying they did it on purpose, it just looks that way.
Right. It definitely does. Kill a whole generation, why don't you?
Exactly. And then if you even talk about handwriting, so we're going to go back to signing with an X.
And having two witnesses, and the two witnesses are going to side with the X
Right.
too.
So you got 3 X's on the paper.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, 3 X's on the paper.
Right.
Oh.
So handwriting is very important.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right.
it's,
So-
go ahead, sister.
Yeah, kind of taking them back to slavery.
Yes, yes.
We're
these-
going backwards.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I push phonics so much, because it teaches you how to read. Now, there is a difference between my program and other phonics programs because they just teach you phonics.
Okay.
My program teaches you how to read. So when you finish with my program, you can pick up a book and actually read it.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's what the difference is. But I appreciate everybody that teaches phonics, but they have to go a little bit further
Okay.
You know,
to
it's
turn out an
interesting.
honor roll student.
You know, it's interesting because you can teach children numbers, but if you don't tell them how to assemble the numbers to do math, whether it's addition, subtraction, then they know
Yes.
numbers, but they don't know how to put them together in a way that, you know, even if you're, because I've done this with my granddaughter, when you go to the store, you need to know how to be able to make change. Well, if you don't know how to arrange numbers in a way where you can see I gave you $1, my item cost 60
My change
cents.
should be this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. And, you know, there's an expression that's been around, I would say, for decades, but at least for the last 10 to 15 years, where they were saying the dumbing down of America, because not only does it affect our community, but it affects the society in general. And another thing, Sister Taylor, that I want to mention is that with your book, you know, we have a lot of people who are coming in who are immigrants, many who don't know the language. So for them to have to deal with sight words, I mean, they have to learn the language, number one, but if they went the sight word approach as opposed to the phonics approach, which you do, then that would make it even harder for them to learn the language. English is hard enough anyway, because we have words like, just say knife, which does not start with, you don't sound out the K, but it's the word knife, or pneumonia or something like that. So if you bring somebody with a different language altogether, and then you try to teach them, they're like, well, why is there a P on the beginning of pneumonia, and you don't say the P?
That's right. That's right. Because every word is not spelled the way it sounds. And so you have to teach, if you will look at the last part of my book, you'll see it's the 2 and 3 letter consonants. And that is because, example, GH has the G sound, the G sound,
right,
is in ghost, and then it has the F sound as in rough. So if you don't know that there's 2 different ways to say it, you would just be stuck with, I'm not even sure how you would read it if you didn't learn that.
Gotcha.
Right. So you have to teach all parts of phonics for them to, I would say my book has maybe 2,000 words.
Okay.
And so as they go through, they're learning more and more and more. And then they're writing down how many words in a row, and they're adding it to the previous balance. And so they see themselves that they did these words, they counted these words, and now they're using math to keep up with how many words that they completed.
Gotcha.
So now that child is proud that they did 2,000 words in 6 weeks, where in school it's 300 words a year.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Wow, jeez.
Yeah, the
That's a
disparity.
big difference.
Yeah, very big difference.
And you know, one of the things that comes to mind, Sister Taylor, is the like we were speaking about pride and self-esteem. You know, I have seen this in children in general when they would come up with a book and say, let me read this to you. You know, I mean, there's just such a pride that they have. I mean,
Yes.
you can feel the light coming from their body, you know,
Yes.
that they just
Yes.
energized by that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we don't, as we should in our community, encourage reading as much as we should. So I'm curious also, now we're talking about school, but how, I guess two questions. One, is this something that a parent can use, let's say, prior to a child getting into preschool or kindergarten? And second, well, I guess it's the age group, because I know when you start in kindergarten, it's generally at 5 years old. So would a parent be able to take this ahead of time and kind of help prepare their children? Because one of the things I have found, and I've done this in my own learning from school on into college, is I tried to read ahead of whatever the class had. If they gave us a book, let's say I'm in the 6th grade, I tried to not only read and say, we're going to do chapter 3 today. Well, I'll read chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6.
The way I did.
Yeah, 'cause I wanted to get ahead of it. I didn't want to be, you know, we're going to wait till the next thing. I said, let me get ahead of this. And then if there's something I don't understand, then I will have read ahead of time and I can ask an intelligent question. So would parents benefit, and let's say grandparents, in trying to help their grandchildren, nieces, and nephews?
Yes. Now, the one thing I found out was the grandparents are the better because they grew up with phonics.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
when you open up the book
Mm-hmm.
and you see apple,
Mm-hmm.
you know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just be repeating to your child or your grandchild, because I'm not sure if the parents, they probably went through whole language. So it became like a separation
Mm-hmm.
of grandparents and parents, because the grandparent would say, sound out the word.
Right.
And the child is like, I don't know what that means,
Mm-hmm.
because we do sight words.
Oh, wow.
So it separated the grandparents from teaching the grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
But once my program came out,
Mm-hmm.
the grandparents purchased the book for the grandkids,
Mm-hmm. Because they knew.
because now they can sit down with them and say apple, B ball,
Right.
ball, C cupcake, C cereal.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed?
And that made
Oh,
it
sorry.
a little easy. But for the parents, it's kind of hard,
Mm-hmm.
because they did do sight words.
I got you. And
Right.
did you at any point have an opportunity to share with your students the source of words coming from so many different nations? You notice at the bottom of a definition, in parentheses, you'll see, say, FR. The base of that word may be French, or LT, the base of the word may be Latin. And very few words, if any, are going to have an AF for Africa, even though there
Right.
are African words in the dictionary, such as hammock, as an example. That is comes from Africa.
Well, I just believe it all comes from Africa.
Well, absolutely. We all came from Africa. I agree
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are those who want to take credit for things that we did.
Right. There's no FR in my book at all. Everything comes from Africa and made it into their own.
Uh-huh.
But the original is the original. So.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I just want to kind of sit up straight here and let everyone see my T-shirt, which says Superstar Reader. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? Superstar readers in our community. And one of the things that benefits from that as well is because it allows a better exchange of dialogue between people. When you have people who are articulate, who understand and comprehend, then that makes them able to have deeper conversations, better conversations. No one's lost in the mix, so to speak, because we're all on the same level. And I have to say, sister, one of the things that I have always pushed on this show and then outside of it, just in my general life, I've often said, because you were mentioning science and math and such, one of the things that I've always pushed is that if a child hasn't learned to master English, when they're in an English class, then when they go on to, because you usually have at least 6 or 7 classes during the course of a day, then when you go to social studies, or if you go to math, or you go to history, or whatever subjects after that, if you cannot learn to read well during an English class, then when you go to these other classes which have their own specific jargon or words that are particular for that particular subject, the child ends up being even more lost because they didn't get it in English class. Your history teacher is not supposed to be teaching you how to read. They're teaching you history or social studies, etc. So I have always pushed that they should spend more time in mastering the language before they move on to a science class where they'll say something like protozoa, or bacteria or something. They're going to be lost at that point. So if you haven't mastered how to enunciate a particular thing, which phonics does, then everything else will just be foreign to you.
And that's the... I'm not saying this is on purpose.
However.
Yes. I can say I think it's on purpose.
That all those things go together. So taking a child who can't read and putting them in a history class with a book.
Oh, boy.
Putting them together with a science book, social studies. I mean, come on.
Right.
So if they don't do anything else, they should just make it reading all day until you get it.
Right.
And then introduce the other classes.
I agree totally, and that's always been my feeling. Personally, myself, I've just been an avid reader all my life. I was more of an introvert in terms of my growing up as a child. So books became my outlet, my friend, because it allowed me, which books do, allow you to escape whatever reality you're dealing with and visit other realities, whether I'm studying something about China, something about the Aztecs in South America. It became an escape for me, which I'm thankful for now, even more so when I reflect on that. And this is something I try to emphasize. I'm happy to say that my granddaughter has made honor roll and has always been in like a special category. And she even now still amazes me because when I hear her say certain things, I'm like, where did that come from? And people speak of the old soul kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm so impressed by that. And she likes to write as well, which my daughter picked up from me as well. They both like writing and reading. And it's such a critical thing for a person to be able to do it, because I've heard, and they speak of this, and you know this as well, Sister Taylor, or when you were here, how they used to say that Detroit has I don't know if the number ever changes, but they say it's 47% who are dysfunctional readers, something along that line. So they say how some people would cover it up would be to say, well, I don't have my glasses. Could you read this for me? Covering up the fact that they just couldn't read at all. And they were embarrassed by that fact as well. And the last thing I'll say on that is that we know that it was a crime hundreds of years ago for us to have a book to read or write anyway. So now they're making criminals because they can't read or write. And the only thing they can do is strong arm people, find other negative ways to get an income. So I really applaud you on this because it's something I'm definitely going to now what I wanted to ask you to do again, and we'll ask again during the course of the show, is to tell people how they can get the book and remind them of the name.
Okay, it is at Walmart.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of the book is Superphonics for Superstar Readers. Now, once they get the book and they upload a picture to my Facebook, Jackie Taylor, and I think everybody know what I look like.
Let me turn the book around here so they can see the picture.
Right.
Okay, there she is.
My picture's on the back, yes. And they get a free T-shirt, a free Superstar Reader T-shirt. And now their child is a Superstar Reader.
All right.
Right. Now we're doing the website so that if they wanted to participate in the science program, they would be able to purchase the book. I would tell them what book they need. Purchase the book, and I would have the child read different. It's not like from the first page. It's like the first story would be on page 20, and that would be the first story, and then each story I would tell them what page is story number 2, story number 3, all the way till 33. And so once they complete the science book, because that's the whole book, now they're proficient in science.
Wow.
Now we have a caller, so I'm going to introduce the caller to the conversation.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. You're on the air. Okay. Okay. This technology, I ask all of you to bear with me.
Okay.
Okay. Caller, can you hear me? Because I did this before, and it's a lot of buttons here. We don't want to
lose, I guess. Yeah.
No. Well, I have her locked in.
Okay.
Let me try one more thing here. Caller, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay,
yes,
can you hear me?
There you are.
Slide those Silverado.
Hey, happy Monday.
I want to congratulate you. Shout out, Jackie. You've been on this project for a minute, and I'm so glad that it has birthed. I got a 7-year-old, so I got a 7-year-old grandson, and we definitely serious about learning, reading, phonics, all that good stuff. And we got him. His daddy got him writing affirmations down.
All right.
He makes him meditate and write things to keep his spirit lifted and to encourage himself to believe in himself.
Oh, this is wonderful.
So, Jackie, you're just definitely going to be an additional educator for my grandson.
And I want to ask all of you just to hold on. We're at the top of the hour, so we get our time keeps moving on.
What kind of clock you got over there? We got to talk to our engineer about this. Anyway, you are tuned in to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. And we have to take another break. We have with us today Jackie Taylor, author of a wonderful book that focuses in on phonics. And we will be back momentarily.
I've always been a runner, but I've never run from anything, and neither has my city.
Do you want to be a Detroit police officer?
Sir, yes, sir! Up! Amen!
It's something special to protect the people closest to you, the ones you've known all your life, your neighbors, your friends. I was born in this city, and I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. That's why I wear the shield.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only. You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Walnut.
Wally Walnut here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germ. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. You can also download this show on your smartphone, and it's TV 33 on demand, right?
Yes.
TV 33 on demand. And that's why I say, and take us along with you. We have with us this morning our special guest, Jackie Taylor, who has authored a book about phonics, a very, very serious subject that we need to not let go. Don't let anyone tell you that there's another system that is better for phonics, better than phonics, in teaching our loved ones how to read. And we also have with us our caller who calls in, and she's excited about the book on phonics as well. Yes,
Sly Soul, Sly Gold, yeah. and the fact that she is a writer as well, poet laureate for Hood Research, I definitely want to acknowledge her on that, because obviously you can't be a poet or a writer in general if you're not able to master the language. So we appreciate you so much on that. And since we're on this side of the break, and I'm going to ask one more time before the end of the show, again, Sister Taylor, would you tell people how they can acquire the book?
They can go to Walmart.com and look for Superphonics or Superstar Readers by Jackie Taylor.
Superphonics for superstar readers. Oh, I love that.
Now, you mentioned a website as well, because you were saying that for the science program and for being able to acquire a T-shirt. So could you give us the website as well?
Okay, we're not finished with that.
Okay.
But as soon as, before they complete Superphonics, so if you purchase Superphonics today, it's got to be mailed to you. It's a long process with the book. As you can see, if you open it up, it's almost a little over 2,000 words.
Okay.
And so by the time you finish that, we'll have the science program up and running.
All right.
Because if you do Superphonics for superstar readers and the science program, you're an honor roll student.
All right.
That's it, right?
Okay.
That's just it.
But
when you take the,
right.
Go ahead.
But you'll have the Facebook page completed before that, right?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. The web,
so they
and website.
For them to get the T-shirt, they just upload the receipt to my Facebook page, which would put them in touch with me, and then I would give them the code for my YouTube page, and that's the math part. And then they would get the website for the science.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, but they have to purchase the reading program first, and then they get everything that they need to be an honor roll student.
One of the things I have to say I like also, sister, is that right now STEM has been really pushed hard, which it should be, because science, technology, engineering, and math, and the fact that you incorporate these things, because many people know that these are, particularly because they're technical, the jobs of the future. Now, as Theo and I have spoke about, we do need people who have vocational skills as well. I'm a retired electrician, and but I also am a college graduate as well. So I kind of went on both sides of the bridge in terms of, but that again, that's because I'm an avid reader and I love to learn. But for our children who are developing now, having a grasp of science and math is just absolutely critical. You cannot really function without that, and the fact that you incorporate that in your program, I just want to give you a salute to that, because a child building that type of a background, particularly early when they're more easily taught, as opposed to once you get older. I think there's a saying, and I hope I don't misquote it, by Frederick Douglass, who says it's easier to teach a child than to correct Laura, I know.
An adult.
Yes. Yeah, that's than to correct an adult.
Right.
So if we catch them early, which is what's necessary, then we don't have to worry about what path they'll take, because they'll have the tools that they need. So again, I applaud you on that for taking them just beyond phonics, but into science and math as well, which makes them well-rounded also.
I second that emotion.
A well-rounded child can create. And if you look back in our history, we were the inventors. Even before freedom, we were the inventors, and the masters were able to take your invention as their own.
Right.
because you were a slave.
Right.
Then once freedom came, you were able to get credit for your invention.
Yeah, patent your own inventions, yeah.
Yes, and I have a blog called Jackie's Historical Facts.
Jackie's Historical Facts.
Yes, and it shows you the picture of the person, so you see what they are. It shows the invention. It gives you the history and everything else. And we have people who come on my blog to say that's not true.
What?
Of course.
Right.
Boy.
Everything is there. Everything is there. So what part is not true?
Right.
We invent mostly everything. And if you took away everything that black people invented, you wouldn't have anything in your house.
Really? And you know, we're fighting an institution. We speak about institutional racism, and it's more than a notion. It's a fact that the institutions have been designed to hold us back, and they don't mind if a few of theirs get held back as well, because they consider that collateral damage for some of theirs not to excel, but they want to make sure that they keep us in place. Now, Sly Soul, I wanted to ask you, do you want to ask any more questions or anything of Sister Taylor?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that she says the book is at Walmart.com, Superstar Reader Jackie Taylor.
Superphonics.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Superphonics for superstar readers.
Okay, I wrote that down too. So
Right.
go to
So it's
Walmart.com.
every form of phonics that turn you into a superstar reader.
Okay. Superphonics for superstar readers.
Yes.
Yeah, Superphonics.
And I find that under Walmart.com.
Yes.
Okay, I got you, baby. Looking forward for your YouTube page and a Facebook page and all that good stuff, so I can keep up.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I wanted to ask you, Sister Taylor, also. Now, let's say prior to purchasing the book, what is your name? Just Jackie Taylor on Facebook?
Yes. Jackie Taylor.
Okay, and if they go on YouTube, do they put in the same thing, Jackie Taylor, or is
you can't go to YouTube because it's private.
Okay.
Until you get the program,
Okay.
and then you upload your receipt, and I give you the code.
Okay. So we have
Right,
to do
and
that
then-
other part first. Okay, gotcha. Now,
Yes.
within the pages of the book at the beginning, you teach the children their ABCs. Do you sing them? You know, the famous song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Do you teach them like that, or do you have another method?
No, it's a repeat after me. So the adult says A-I apple, and then the child says A-I apple. And then it's B ball, C cupcake. And then I have to teach that the C has 2 sounds and the G has 2 sounds. And so that's why phonics is important, is because they wouldn't know that C for cake and C for cereal
Right.
We're correct.
are two same letter,
Right.
2 different sounds. The G for gate and the G for giant are 2 same letter,
Right.
2 different sounds. And so they have, another thing is A-E-I, oh shoot, what's the vowel? A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. Y is very important, but you can't cover that in sight words because you have the Y with the long E sound, like baby, happy, and you have the Y with the long I sound. So if you don't teach, buy, cry, and my is the long I sound with the Y.
Right.
So if you don't teach them all the different sounds that the alphabets are able to make, you just say, look at this word and tell me, I still don't get that. To just look at the word and tell me what it is.
Gotcha. Right.
Then what happens is you give up spelling bees because spelling bees are based on phonics.
Right. I think the last time we had a winner was in 2014. A young African American girl won a spelling contest.
And so you see, my sister was just saying Akila and the bee.
Oh, yeah.
You see, for her to spell, she patting her leg. That's to keep the beat of phonics. And it allows you to learn more and bigger words, harder words, because now you just sound the word out. Now, the other thing that my program does is when they say the word, so let's say cab, they have to give me a sentence because that says that's comprehension, that you understand that a cab is something your mother takes to work. So for each word that they do, if they don't know what the word is, I tell them what the word is, what the definition of the word is. I give them a sentence for the word, and now it's their turn. So each word, you have to understand what that is before you can move to the next word.
Well,
and so at the end, at the beginning is pictures for comprehension. And at the end is pictures for comprehension. The middle is just 3 and 4 letter words. And it's just so many of them.
Right.
And then you have like the double O. If you don't know it's different sounds to the double O, then you would read the words as you think it should be, not the sound that it makes. So you have, I don't want to go through all of that, but you have the book. You will see it's a whole section on double O words.
You know, you made me think when you said that, 2 words just popped in mind for double O. Moon, which has a certain sound, but foot has a different sound, both with the double O.
And I thought a toot, T-O-O-T.
I didn't want to start going over it, but you're absolutely correct. Those have totally different sounds.
Right.
But they both have the O-O. And so we take you through all the words that sound with one set of O-O's, and then we take you through the second set of O-O's that have a totally different sound.
Right. So,
and so,
loose, and they have different sounds. Yes.
Yes. So when you look in the book to the O-O section, you automatically see words that you already know. You already know they have 2 different sounds. The kid doesn't, though.
Yes.
So we have to teach them.
Like so much fun. It sounds like it's going to be so much fun doing this with my grandson.
Yes. Yes. And then the other thing, because once you come to the YouTube, I do a little, Theo was saying about singing. Well, I don't do singing, but I do visualization. So when I say hat, I put my hand on top of my head.
Right.
For hat. If you say nose, then I point to my nose. If you say pot, I pretend like I'm stirring a pot. Rain, you know, your fingers raining down. So it puts in a child everything they need, so the next time they see that word, they visualize rain.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They visualize giants.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Wow.
So that's why that visualization is important.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And them knowing what the word means and being able to give a sentence is important.
I got you.
That's
right. Right.
You know, I like the idea when you say visualization, and then you also mentioned comprehension earlier, because to learn words but not understand what they mean or the context and being able to retain that, then just have a parrot can repeat a sentence, but it doesn't mean that they comprehend.
Right.
And for them to be able to comprehend and then use it themselves as well, you know, it's very, I guess the word that came out when computers sort of came out is very interactive. So you become a part of it, not only by just doing it yourself. And one of the things that I've told my granddaughter, and but I've known this and heard this before in my life as well, is that it's good to read out loud as well, because when you read just by visual, you know, just reading, when you say it, it takes a deeper root in your subconscious as well, which is where we want to be able to hold and retain that. So, you know, so I'll tell a person in a minute, I say, look, read it out loud, because you will hear it with your ear as well as see it with your eye.
There you go.
Yes.
You said it you said it exactly correct. You not only see what you're reading, you hear what you're reading.
Right.
And
now, there you go.
Yeah, and it helps you to, if you said the word wrong, if you're hearing yourself say it, you say, well, this don't sound right. So it'll automatically help you to correct what you're reading, because you've heard it and you say, well, no, that doesn't sound right. And then you'll sound it out and make it even clearer to yourself. I like the program.
Yes, and you know what? That covers dyslexia. Because the president of the Dyslexic Society had come to my Facebook page and said that she didn't like that I kept saying that the disorders were not real, that they were made up disorders. And so I said, here's my phone number. You call me and let's discuss what you're saying. And so she did. She did call. Right. So I said dyslexia is a sight disorder, which means you see the words different.
Right.
Interchanged or backwards. Well, you can't hear it backwards or interchanged. If you say the word incorrectly, phonics is going to say that's not right. Where sight words is you see the word backwards and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So they give the parents money for their child being dyslexic, ADHD, ADD. They give the school money for dyslexic, AD, and obviously you have an organization called the Dyslexic Society. So everybody is getting paid from a made-up disorder.
You know, I have to say this too, and I said it earlier. I am a pseudo conspiracy theorist, and I say that again because everything becomes a hustle. It's like the doctors. I just use another analogy. Doctors don't get they don't get paid for curing you. They get paid for treating you.
There you go.
So they allow the systems to be there. They make money on the prescriptions. They make money on your visits, etc. Whereas they could just tell you that if you did this or you did that, take cinnamon for high blood pressure, whatever it is, that you could eliminate the problem. But there's no money in eliminating the problem. And as you say, these societies, dyslexic and others, these organizations wouldn't exist if people tried to take care of to curing as opposed to just treating symptoms. We have another caller, and we're getting down to the last few minutes, so I'm going to get this caller in real quick.
Okay, peace out.
All right.
Okay. Hello, caller. You on the air? Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? We only have 3 or 4 minutes left. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Okay. Well, we are winding down, and we do want to give our guests the benefit of the last few minutes. So, so again, I'll ask you to, repeat your information, your contact information, and where people can get the book. And I'm sure we'll have a discussion in the future as well, because this is very vital to our community, all communities, not just our community, all communities.
I'm really glad to know about it. Okay,
so again, sister, you can give us your information, and then we'll I'll make sure I put it on my Facebook page as well.
Okay, now for the book, you can go to Walmart.com, pull up Superphonics for Superstar Readers by Jackie Taylor. Purchase the program. Come to my Facebook page, which is Jackie Taylor. Even if you're not my friend, you can send me a message. And once you send me a message, then I will friend you. But you send a message saying you purchased the book and you have it, and then I give you the code for me to teach.
Now, I want everyone to know that we definitely encourage this. I myself, again, will have it on my Facebook page, and I will share with people I know, because I just feel like it's critical for all of us.
Yes.
And I have to say that some of the things she's said today, even as an adult reader, an avid reader, I didn't know. So you helped me out a lot just in general as well, sister. I have to, just give you kudos for that. And we'll definitely be looking forward to discussing this with you again, because we want all our children to be on the honor roll, don't we?
That's right. Absolutely. Want them to be super readers.
Yes.
And as I say, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can to share with you, such as with our guest this morning, Jackie Taylor. And you can share with us. And it helps us all make better informed decisions.
Yes, it does.
We want you to follow Hood Research on Twitter, on Facebook. We want you to join us in our other programs. We have a Saturday afternoon from 3 until 6 p.m. on the conference call. You can Google Hood Research and you can glean that number. We also have a radio program every Sunday night at 11 p.m. on 910 Superstation. Jackie?
Yes. Now, I never knew how to find you guys. But once you said the Roku Live, that's how I found you.
Well, I certainly am glad that you found us, and then we can
so
share
now
you with
I
other
can do
people. Channel
33.
Yes.
Right, live.
Yeah, we want to thank the also CEO R.J. Watkins for making all these platforms available. And as I always say at the end of the show, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished. And we want to again thank Jackie Taylor for being our guest today, and want to ask you all to tune in next Monday at 9 a.m. for a new program of Hood Research Feedback.
That's right. Tune in again next Monday morning, 9 a.m. Peace.
Peace.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.